Hi everybody, welcome to another episode of Out of Bacon. I am your glorious host, Tanya, and today I was hoping that we were going to be able to do some gardening this weekend, but it was pouring down rain all Saturday and all Sunday, and my favorite place to go to get starts is the farmer's market or to the Master Gardener plant sale, but sadly that got canceled. Our farmer's market just got opened up not that long ago, but this weekend I had the time, and sadly Mother Nature didn't cooperate. Also, I went outside to check my garden after it finally cleared up, and I got some work to do. Sadly, you remember when I told you about my own trauma? So sadly, that happened about September, September through the end of the 2018. And after that kind of happened, as I was telling you, that kind of had to like build myself back up and find everything and sort of like Humpty Dumpty put myself back together again, except that, myself. So my gardening actually is one of those things that was just kind of trapped in time, and I actually did not have a garden last year, which is very, very sad. But this year I'm determined to have it, so hopefully I can spend the rest of the week cleaning that out, getting it all ready to go, and if Mother Nature will cooperate on this weekend, I'll go get some starts so we can do some actual gardening. So what are we going to do instead? So we're going to clear off my little whiteboard, my bathroom mirror that I use and leave myself little notes here, so I keep track of my dog's medication in the top little corner there. So I just gave her flea meds, and look at that one, wax. Remember, Tanya, buy wax if and when you can ever have some. And look at the other one over there, because we're going to clean off my whiteboard today, except for Pixie's meds. That one says even it out, cut hair. That's where we're going today. And those of you who know me personally, y'all know that I was a cosmetologist, so this is going to be really fun. But first off, before we move on, let me show you my little online shopping addiction, right? What I found in the mail just a day or so ago. Here it is. Oh, look at that. Thank you, Jesus. And something else I found that was super amazing. Check it out. Ooh, look at that color. Look at that glorious color. Well, I sure hope it turns out well, because I got 2 of them. So I guess I'll be doing it again. I know you guys are super excited to get started, or at least to watch me get started at cutting my own hair. So, and the reason that I'm doing this one is, one, you guys saw my last time, I'm tired of this mop the way it is. It's 2 different haircuts sort of put into one, and I'm ready to blend it into the next level. And I know I hear so many of you out there going, oh my gosh, where is my salon gonna open up? I can't stand my hair anymore. So I'm gonna show you, at least for you short-haired folks, I can show you a quick little tutorial. So when I'm doing my hard part over here, I actually use a small clipper. This one is for more personal areas, but I like to use it for this. I've never used this on my lady parts. It's only for my hair. So I don't like to use the big clippers. I have done it. It makes short work of things, but it's also like much harder to control, especially if you're trying to do it to yourself. And you can get if you stutter or anything else, you're going to mess up your line. To actually cut your hair, it's good to invest in a pair of stylist scissors or shears. And you can find these. I get mine at Sally's, which is just down the street, or you can get them online or at any other reputable beauty supply company. I like the ones that the blades come apart, or so that way every time, whenever your stuff gets dull, you can just go get a new pair of blades and you don't have to worry about sharpening, and it's super, super easy. So that's my kind that I like. And also, because I'm doing a Pixie, I'm going to be using this. When I pull this out, if you're not familiar with using razors to texturize your hair, you can stop the video there if you're not, or just watch it and see if maybe one day it might be game. So for what happened, so we have to talk about first we have to have a plan, right? So what had happened is, before I had a pompadour, it was really high and beautiful, kind of like Pink's hair, or Bruno Mars had a pompadour for a while. So basically almost like a skate ramp, right? Just swooped backward, and it was very stylish. I'll put a picture in there of what it looked like. It's a very powerful, and then this, the back and the sides were all shaved. So like a number 2 or a 1.5. It's a very powerful haircut, especially for a woman to rock. I got so many women who would come up to me in the streets or in the grocery store or at the club or whatever else and be like, oh my God, I love your hair. So I got mostly really good reviews, except for one thing. Do you know, the people who were coming up to me to talk about how amazing my super short hair was were all women. It's a very powerful haircut. Oh yeah, and it was bright red. So it was, I'll put a picture in, you guys will see. But yeah, if you've never done a pompadour, I highly recommend if you're deciding that you want to play around with short hair. And it's a very sexy cut and very powerful. So definitely give it a try sometime. But today, what we're going to do, if I can get my camera to do what I want to do. There we go. Today what we're going to do is we're going to take this as it's kind of growing out. You can see where the long part is and how it's kind of colliding with the part that was shorter. This part, not as much because I've not done the hard part in there and stuff. Remember, my hard part used to have 3 lines in it. Not today. Today we'll just stick with 1. So we're going to do some blending with our fingers. So not going to use the clippers, but you can see, like, even with just your eyes, you can see where things are not quite even. So here's where, yeah, so we've got to trim that up there. We're going to see where we can blend it better with our fingers. And then we're going to just touch it up here. And of course, piece de resistance, we're going to add some beautiful texture because a pixie haircut always needs to be texturized. It always should. So if we don't know what a pixie haircut is, Twiggy was a model back in the 70s, and I've always blamed that bitch for America's obsession with skinny women. But then there came the diva with the big ass. Thank you, J-Lo, for making, for bringing ladies with curves some attention. I appreciate that. So we need a good small small comb here. I almost forgot. Here, these are thinning shears. They cut like that. I'm not going to use them. I actually don't care for them too much. Sometimes if I find somebody who has like really thick hair, I'll use them. But when I go and get my own hair done and people pull out the thinning shears, that's why I like the razor blade much better. But when they pull out the thinning shears, they tend to go a little hog wild. And with thinning shears, think of it like black pepper. A little goes a long way. I can talk to you about how to use those in a minute, but definitely want, yeah, I prefer the razor blade because it makes it a little bit more random. And which is great because I have wavy hair. I know it looks super straight right now, and that's because I smushed it down. But the razor blade, I don't know, for some reason just works well with curly hair. Okay, so let's get into this, shall we? All right. So first thing we need to do is wet it down, just a light misting, really. Yeah, there it is. Oh, that's much better. All right. So with this one, since I'm cutting my short hair, usually if you had long hair, we would put your guideline in the back of your hair. So when your stylist gets everything parted and whatever, and then decides to they pull down that one, like they'll slice it out and then just pull down that one chunk. That's what they're doing, is they're cutting a guideline. So basically everything else in the haircut will all come back to that guideline, or at least that section. So we're going to cut a guideline. But since I'm doing mine myself and I cannot reach the entire back of my head, I'm going to put my guideline in the front. So if we can think geometry a little bit, we need to be looking at angles. Okay, so if we make this, the bottom, our plane, our first line, we're going to make sure our fingers are matching the same angle of our head. So if you put your comb there to show where the flat is, so like I have a little bit of a curve and that's curving into my forehead. So I'm going to make sure that we can see the line of the head because that's your base. And then we're going to get our fingers to match the same angle. Good, like so. Good. And then we're going to angle it. We're going to pull our hair forward like that. And that's going to create more of a 45-degree angle. There we go. See? Now that all needs to be cut off. Easy peasy, right? because that is the short part that my stylist cut the short part of my bangs. It's okay. I still love her. I'll still come back. Okay, she does listen. She's awesome. Okay, boom, got our first cut. You know the thing about this? I sure hope it goes well because I got one head of hair, so this is like a one take. So I can't cut and go back. Okay, so in mine too, in my school, my teacher taught us to go this way, especially on short hair, to go, to cut our lines this way, instead of cutting across, especially if you want longer bangs in the front, or not bangs, but if you want the hair to get longer in the front. If you cut this way, do you know what I'm saying? So if you go across this way, and cut it this way, and this way, and this way, then you're more likely to end up with hair that's either the same or short in the back. But if you want an angle to go in the front, it's better to have long. I even cut long hair that way. So it goes up and down. And it's more vertical than horizontal. Horizontal can make mistakes. All right, back to our stuff. There we are. I made sure and angle it. Just touching up. There's a little bit there. And of course, when you're doing it yourself, it's not going to be 100%. That's why it's so good that we're doing a Pixie, because the Pixie's supposed to be a little bit messy. So, okay, we've got our guideline here. Oh, you can't see me. Dang it. Okay, I'm getting carried away. All right, so we've got our guideline still there, so that's going to show us now as we grab more hair what we're doing. There, look at all that. I'm going to cut off. Yay. Make sure and pull the angle. Yay. There it is. That's interesting. Guess I'm finding mistakes in here. Just a random short piece. Okay. I probably should have started this on the sides, actually. There. So we're just going to blend it in. See that random short piece that's in there? I don't know what happened there. We're just going to blend those two corners together. No problem. So there's the piece that I've been working on, and there's that short piece in the crook of my fingers. Good. There, try that again. I feel like there should be some music on. But I don't have that yet. Working on it, which will be my next. So I'm growing as a YouTuber, so remember to pull up, Tanya. Pull up first, then angle. Got it. Now angle. There we go. I'm also trimming, so those random pieces that are a little bit long, I'm okay with just chopping off. Alright, so we've got our first chunk here is pretty good. Let's see if I can go further back and how far back I can reach, because I'm doing it by myself. Up and then angle. Good. Okay. Dang it, can you guys see this? You're like, Tanya, we can't see you. I'll just tell you about it then, huh? Yeah, I'm just going to go through the center because I started on the center. I don't know, I could have started at the side. I'm going to go, okay, up and over. I feel like this is a longer piece. Most stylists will tell you that I'm doing something horrible, which is never, they say never cut past the knuckle. I do. Probably why I get cut so much. Probably why I cut myself so much.
Now that you have the gist, we're going to skip around a little so you don't get too terribly bored.
See, there's a corner in here I don't like. If you're like, what's a corner? What's a corner? A corner is like right there. Or it's any place where it just like lays. Something like it was standing up and then there's one piece that just kind of lays, a little chunk of hair that just sort of lays down. That's where you might have a corner. See, what I'm looking at is this right here. See? See that? That's a corner. I have to figure that out. That's that at the end of my, what do you call it? Of my hard part too. That's the end of that little razor piece. So that might have something to do with it. And that's so weird doing the angle from the back. Again, dirty minds. I make the joke. Don't do it. I know you're doing it. I don't know exactly which one is thinking those dirty minds. There, that looks good. I think I got it.
We're going to move on to the other side, which is going to give you a much better view after I show you that.